true conspiracies, which most of them are true. It is so important, to know what we believe in, and that's my emphasis. I often wonder, when I went to the college campuses and talked to a lot of individuals during the presidential campaigns, and they would hear from me. You'll probably hear a little bit of that from me tonight. And that is the fact that there's a problem out there, a big problem out there, and it wasn't created by you. It was created by, guess what? Politicians in Washington that need to be removed. I divide the activities into two places. One is the philosophy that we have, and then the whole idea of what's going on with politics. And there's too often a division there. And the one thing is the competition. We should be doing a lot better than we're doing as libertarians when you think that the competition isn't all that smart. I mean, you have a couple of what they call big parties, but do they have a philosophy? It's one thing we can say about libertarians. At least we have something to believe in: liberty. We have a philosophy that we seek and talk about, but we also have political activities, and that to me is a contest between what the people are thinking and saying, and how do you change the government. And there are some sinister groups out there that they want to change the government too, and they want chaos in the streets, and they're promoting all the nonsense, almost everything opposite of what we believe as libertarians, because the chaos is here. And that is what I'm saying. The empire really has ended, and it has been systematically replaced by the chaos for the sole purpose of improvising a system of government 100% opposite of libertarianism. And that we have to stop. I wrote a little pamphlet recently, and I dealt with the idea of this whole idea that the empire has ended, and it's concluding that ending, and those individuals who wanted philosophically believe, the Marxists believe, you have to destroy something in order to replace it with something good like socialism. So they purposely want that. They want chaos in the street. I had a dilemma over here. Why are they people in the government and people on so many stupid things that finally go on as they want? And of course, that's what we have to change. But this is not new. It's happened throughout history. But instead of looking at it, crying about it, complaining about it, we try to explain it. But we want to make sure that we understand the value in it too, and what we can do with it. That puts a greater burden and responsibility on us, because they destroy, the benefit of what we have, the founders have, is a sense of liberty. And now there's a vacuum out there, and they're going to move in, and you really focus on. Unfortunately, it's pretty successful. A lot more so than it should be. If we should confront the world we live here with. I believe that it's all about just this. And that's I was a medical in 1962, and the human rights came on, and I noticed the government, I said, come on, we own you. My claim is that the two things that would make the slaves is the military draft and the income tax. If you look at the income tax, they tax on income, and they say, what do you mean? So it's not gross. They have a long time because you can't set income. You know, that doesn't overreach tuition. And that is, of course, why high on the list a lot of big, I'm sure it is a crowd like this. And we expect to ever see some significant changes for delivery. We will be getting rid of the IRS. Sure. Understanding the military is easy to see, especially if you remember or read the history of the 1960s. What a tragedy, but that's been going on ever since. We play these games, but we're still sending troops to death by going overseas and participating and incorporating other people, into the activities that we do. So this to me is a major, major thing. And it's easy. We can visualize it. We know exactly what we would do with the IRS and income tax. But then there is another tax that has to be understood because the likelihood of us in the near future getting rid of the IRS is not very good. But the fact that groups like this and others are growing in their understanding and their desire to do something about the tax that is the most vicious and most destructive, and that is the inflation tax signed by the Federal Reserve. They didn't even have to convince you of that. But I remember when it dawned on me when I titled the book, and it occurred when I was at the liberal university, thinking that I had a decent crowd out, which was to my surprise, because we did pretty well getting a mixed crowd out, and there was some college campuses. I think it was the University of Michigan, and we were talking my usual talk, and I alluded to lots of campuses, and all of a sudden, there was starting to be chants at this liberal university. They started chanting David Finn. I said, where did they come from? So that was the line to know that happened. The inflation tax is evil, really evil. It's a little harder to see the income tax, but the inflation tax is to finance all the deficits right now, and that is totally out of control. I mean, it's spending every single day, it's increasing. We can't even hardly pay, get enough money to pay the interest on the debt. It's so bad. That's part of the end of the empire. The end of the empire is coming, and that's good. But we're not going to let those Marxists pick up the pieces. That will be our job to pick up and give them a dose of liberty. There are some people who talk about coups. There's been coups around, and the United States are the champions. We've committed more coups in the last 30 or 40 years than probably anybody in history. And because if you look back, even as recent as Ukraine, that involved an American coup and NATO to stimulate all that mess. There's a lot of people that think that 1963, but I think that it's very clear that there was a coup in 1963. It was somewhere you want to ever think. I was a resident at the drafted in November, draft notice in November, and finally had to come in by January. And that was an experience that made a difference in my life, because the day before Kennedy was assassinated, I was on Kelly Air Force Base. Kennedy had stopped there, and I was a flight medical officer on the base there. But that had a big impact, because it was like less than 24 hours as he left the base at Kelly Air Force Base that he was killed in Dallas. But that wasn't the only thing, the biggest thing. I mean, it was just out of control. And then, as the history has evolved, and I've come to the conclusion, as many of you probably have, that over all these years, you know, the whole line told by Oswald, the single shot business, that is, turns out, it's my opinion, was a filthy lie. And of course, that was followed by another Kennedy being assassinated, Martin Luther King being assassinated, and on it has gone. And the thing that really put it into my mind that this is a coup that's been taken over was, you know, immediately after the John Kennedy assassination, it was all the plans made for, you know, an investigation. And they had the Kennedy Commission, I guess it was another name on that, but the commission was set up, and it turns out, and I've come around to believe, that the key figure of the coup was Allen Dulles. But guess what? When they had the commission, he was on the commission to investigate it, to cover up the lies. And, you know, I've been so many years with all the commissions, whether it's 9/11 commission or whatever. When you hear about a commission, you say, look, at least they're investigating. Now, that doesn't happen. It's either to cover up stupidity or cover up, you know, their tracks. Because they're not speaking truth. That's our problem in this country, is the lack of truth. The lack of truth, knowing what's going on. And it is so bad that right now we're seeing the conclusion of this, the destruction of the Republic, the destruction of the Department of Justice, the destruction of our whole concept of our government, our republic. It doesn't exist under these conditions. But I do not want myself to even drift out and say, oh, how horrible, which it is. It's horrible, because it's so horrible. But I'm looking for something to grasp. The grass is they destroyed it, yes, for the wrong reason. Their motives are evil, and they're going to use it unless this group of people and thousands more do something about it and replace it with liberty. You know, there's a lot of political activity in various parties, independents, and we work within a party, you know, the Libertarian Party. So, but there are others who feel very frustrated, and I think they're sincere, but they're very confused. And one thing is a pet peeve with me, but I also think when you're doing this is too smart, and that is that they want the party of no labels. No labels, that means you don't even know what it is. No labels. You have to label something. So now the label is no labels. And I say no stats either. They claim that this satisfies the demand for, you know, perfect democracy. Everybody gets to vote. Everybody everybody is to participate. So they think it's a way to democracy. They advertise it as being bipartisan, bringing people together. And this just isn't true. I don't believe they, and they see this with honesty too, bringing people together. So if you have a reasonably or a good constitutional conservative, and you have a good progressive Democrat on the other side, and both of them have a piece of the understanding of the real message, and you say, well, how are we need to bring them together. But they bring them together, these two, by the two parties getting up with two good beliefs coming together with all this compromise and sell-out. So I think one of the worst things I can see is, and there's something this week. Oh yeah, we just passed this thing with a bipartisan vote. That's bad news. I think we should have labels. I think we should have understanding. And I think it's just great that we have a philosophy that is so wonderful. The philosophy of liberty. It's not something we invented. It's been around for a good while. A lot of confusion comes and goes. People have different opinions. But some of the basics of this philosophy existed for a long time. Samaria, the country of Samaria was the country supposed to have the first written laws in the land. And even before that, people knew a couple of basics. They have the punishment for people who would lie, cheat, steal, and kill. That's a good word. That sounds like non-aggression. So this has been going on for a long time. That's 4,000 to 5,000 years ago, which means that there is, I believe, my personal belief is that there is a natural law and there's a higher law. It's been available to all of us. We can't understand it. It has been. But there's a contest going on that's been going on for hundreds of years, thousands of years. And that is, there's always the people who are in denial for selfish, evil reasons. Because they say, well, you can't know that, you can't know that. So, the evil there is very, very apparent. So, I think it's easy for us to say, what are we going to do to avoid? And I guess I would say, each and every one here has a responsibility. Not that people come up after I figure there'll be some college students come up there, and they would say, Dr. Paul, I heard that, it's a great message, I agree with you. What can I do? You know what my answer is, you probably heard it. Do whatever you want to do. I believe that despite the level of the amount of education people have, there's always some talent out there. Some people have musical talent, and I'm jealous because I wish I could sing. But I can't. So I sing the song of liberty. That's about the best I can do. Everybody has talent that should be used in a different way. Come to the conclusion, and if you come to a confession like this, you ought to leave with enthusiasm of understanding what the real problem is, and that instead of looking at everything that's going on in the entire matter. I was in Washington for 26 years, and they said, how did you stand it with all those times up there? I said, well, I had low expectations. And the expectations, you know, were just for reality. You know, I was motivated to get into politics over the Federal Reserve and the money issue, but that supplies the incentive to get involved in welfareism and warfareism and the whole work. So that to me was very important. So the whole issue of the monetary issue was a big thing, so I got involved in that. And I finally found out, as I studied more, is that it's all tied together. One time we were having a presidential debate, and the host, the interviewer said, "Oh, this week we're going to talk about economics. Next week we're going to talk about foreign policy." I said, "They're the same. How do you think you fight wars without the Federal Reserve printing money?" I just believe it is a battle between good and evil, and some people put that into a religious, spiritual view, but some people can do that. It's just good old logic that is very, very natural for some people to wake up and come across, just like the Sumerians did 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. And they knew the difference. You should lie, cheat, steal, and kill. That's not good libertarian. So people, we should be able to, rely on natural law. But, matter of fact, that is detested wholeheartedly by those authoritarians. The authoritarians are competing with the people who believe in liberty. The authoritarian, they do not. Do you know that authoritarians don't like you? because you are a threat to them. And that's the way it is in Washington, D.C. That's what it is. You see some few. And we do have, I don't think, from my experience in Washington, I don't think that gradualism is going to all of a sudden give us a magic cure to what we have. That is, we like 10 more good guys, 10 more here and there, and we should. The more voices we have, the better. But that's not going to be the way the budget's going to get balanced. The budget is so out of control, and there's so much misunderstanding and lies that go around that can't happen. So will the wars stop after my experience there? No, they're going to continue. They'll just lie more about it, be more deceitful about it. And if they say if you oppose any wars, you're unpatriotic and you're un-American, you hate the truth. And that ought to change, because the attitude ought to be that when you're fighting for liberty, that you're credited with some good things that happen. That is what we should be doing. When I was doing the national campaigns, I had a statement that would alarm some people at times, because they went, "Why should we elect you?" I said, "You should elect me because of the things I don't want to do." I don't want to run your life. I wouldn't know how anyway. It's all your business. And I said, I don't want to run the economy because it's impossible. You can't do it because there's different opinions. People might want to spend their money for something else. And I don't run the world because it's the dumbest idea in the world, and that's how you fight wars constantly. So we need to get more people saying what they won't do and don't think we should do. But of course, the flip side of that is we want to protect your liberty. Oh, what the people say, sincere people who come and say, we like what you say, but they take care of themselves. They won't have any retirement or whatsoever. So that worries them. But frequently on the college campuses, what I say, that is true. But what I want to do is, you're not going to have taxes, you're not going to regulate your life as your own, and that's not very good. And I always tell them, I got a lot of laws to them, and I said, if you get your freedom back, and if you make a mistake, you can't go crying to the government, and you can't get your neighbor to go to the government to get what you want. You have to be responsible for your activities. thing about the principles of liberty is that they are so beneficial. It still bewilders me why we're not doing better. You know, we have to do better because it's so overwhelming at what they're doing. You know, you would think that if you can't get enough, if you get here in Texas and you can't be convinced how bad things are, you can go visit a couple other states on what really is happening. You know, things are bad, but they can always change. You can change it, and people say, well, you know, it's not changeable. And my position here is it's not going to change under today's condition. The bankruptcy is going to get worse. The chaos is going to be there. But we have to know, you know, what the problems are and we'll be willing to admit it. You know, they say that the dreaded enemy of those in big government is just somebody telling the truth. We saw a little bit of that during the COVID thing epidemic. You know, there would be people that necessarily this is actually what they want to already talk like the next conference. So there were meetings, you know, PTA and school board meetings and all, and by that time people were becoming irate. And groups would go, well, it took one person sometimes to stand up and say this or a lot of you know what. And we don't need to do this, they convert the whole audience because they were feeling the same thing. That's why one voice is very, very loud. And I always make the point, if you need a large number, you need a prevailing attitude about the people. Unfortunately, for especially since the coup occurred, the attitude is that the welfareism and everything is what we need, and the things are going to be better. But that will not work. The coup has convinced people that they're right. But right now, it's obvious more and more people. I think that's sort of what's going on with the election. More people are realizing that the lies have been told. It is recognized that the one thing they can't stand in Washington is somebody that will just tell the plain truth. There are a lot of things that can be done, and like I say, every individual has a responsibility. And I think I see that there's a contest between philosophy and also the people who tell lies. It's epidemic, there is no doubt about it. But I'm still convinced, though, that if people are exposed to the truth and know what's happening, the numbers of people, the percentage of people are more on our side than on the side of tyranny. Let me tell you, okay, that's the problem. You know, one of the things that we're having a tougher time with now is the destruction of the Department of Justice. That's a Department of evil injustice. The FBI going to the Trump's house where he lived, and going in there, and FBI was going in there ready to fight it out with Secret Service. I would say there's not much left of a republic, you know, if that's the case. And people don't even like when you use that word, but they like to use democracy. With the democracy, with the one thing I think we should work harder at, and I'm sure an audience like this already knows it, but democracy is nothing more than the dictatorship of the majority. That is the whole thing. The dictatorship of the majority is so bad, and why do we lose the argument? I guess people who think they should have a fair shake. If they're in a minority, they're in a minority, all that happens. You let that go, all they do is become victims. And controls they have to have. Now we have to worry about DEI and ESG and all those rules and regulations. I thought there was one this week that should convince a lot of us, that we should be very cautious about that. When we saw it happen, it was in California, a medical school studying this medical students that were appointed by for diversity reasons. And half of them didn't know what they were doing. And they're our medical students now. I would say get the government out of voice education and hard work. Well, that's wonderful. Really get encouraged. People say, boy, this hard work comes back to their problems. Like it. I said, I need to do it. I want to know you exist. And you and others. So continue to be more creative and get the groups together. I remember the first campaign, I guess in 2008, the computer just started, and it came up with this thing, I didn't know what it was, I still don't know a whole lot about it, but it was called meetup groups, it was spontaneous, people met together in communities, it was a perfect campaign, organization. You go to the meetup, people, if they happen to like it, they would just become part of the campaign. So there's so much on, and the technology is wonderful. I like the technology, but I have a strong warning. Technology is good when it's used by honest people, and it can be very, very dangerous when it's done by the government. Some people who are actually involved in some of the technology, they go to the government thinking they'll get credibility. We have to talk to the SEC and see the whole work and content of the people that are writing the regulations, and that's the way they will have an influence. Well, the influence has to be, you should exist. What we need to do is get rid of you and let the market decide you. Wonderful. I'm going to close by thanking you. Thanking you very much for my invitation. Thank you very much because I get encouraged. That's why I come here. I come here because I'm very selfish, because I benefit by being you and talking with you and knowing that you want to end the Fed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul. Give a final round of applause for Dr. Paul. All right, I'm going to get to the secretary for a moment.
Madam Chair, Attorney Carlos